Well, I'd like to welcome all of you who are here with us today at this session for the online students at YMCP. And I just want to let everyone know that this is recorded. So if you could accept that, be okay with that, that'd be wonderful so that I know there are about 5 people who have indicated that they would prefer another day, just given the how tight time is before the holidays and how involved many people are for youth ministries and other things that are coming up for Christmas and New Year's Eve. We will make the recording available to others. And there is an ask that we are requesting from all participants to kind of fulfill and complete at the end, and we'll speak about that. But really, the whole idea of meeting with you today was or stems from um, the fact that we know that you're not in class, and that people who come in class, they get the added advantage of connecting face to face with their instructor, with myself when I'm in attendance, with Mimi, who is the students affair liaison, or we really have to think of your title, Mimi, so we can use something more consistent. But she's the one really responsible for your success throughout the program. So it really stems from us wanting to give everyone here the platform and the opportunity to feel like we are engaging you and giving you a learning experience that is not in any way compromised by the fact that you're not present in person. And so this is really where this whole thing started, where this year, for the second year, I believe, Mimi has been participating as like a regular servant and permanent servant in her role. And really, her role is to help people who are online as specifically and broadly all students, but specifically for online students like yourselves, in order to be following like a certain path to complete the requirements for courses, to ask questions about learning, just to enhance your learning experience. The key point for IMCP is for people to learn. It is not a course that people just need to fulfill in order to serve, and that's it. It's all about the learning and what you can acquire in terms of information, experience, knowledge that you would gain from peers through group discussions and all that. It's honestly all about the learning so that you can genuinely complete this course and say, you know what, I've gained the experience, I have the knowledge, and through God's grace, I can put that into practice as I serve the youth, the adolescents. That's really the goal. So, number one, the reason we're meeting is to give you that opportunity to enhance your learning, for us to hear from you. So after I'm done talking and Mimi and a few of the other servants are done sharing their part, I really want you to unmute and maybe raise your hands, ask questions, put questions in the chat, and we can also go through the chat and answer them. The goal is to make your learning experience enhanced and value adding for you. So one of the things that you'd be missing because you're not in the session is the group discussion that takes place in every course. As you know, our learning is case-based, so we're not really giving you an exam to write or a big huge essay to write for the most part. It's really a group based learning after the instructor finishes their teaching part. They may ask a question here and there, expecting people to participate, and maybe then dividing us mainly into smaller groups for discussion on a case by case basis. So, first, let's hear from you. How has your experience been first? And then we can dive a little bit deeper into the format for the online and how are we going to facilitate your learning? What are our expectations of you? And how can you complete a successful YMCP program. So let's just hear from you if anyone would like to ask a question or even share how your experience has been so far. So we know we have different components. Part of it is attending in person. Some may have to attend asynchronously because they couldn't make it that day. And then everybody's has to write like a discussion question or a prompt and response to someone else. So I want to open up the floor. So please don't be shy. Jump in, put your hands up, or write anything in the chat that you would like. We just want to start by hearing from you, your feedback thus far from the first course and half of the second course. I'm wondering if maybe people are still kind of gearing in. You know, like I said, I would like to hear from you because this is not going to be a one-way thing, but I will continue on and speak until people have questions or formulated questions. Like I said, you can raise your hand or you could just turn on your camera and speak, visually and live with us. Or simply just put it in the chat. I know someone put a question there, Marina. You've done both, and I actually prefer the online posts better. It gives me time to reflect on the material and discuss. Well, that's wonderful. It's good to hear that. I want you to know that for during COVID time, we ran the whole program online. So we moved into an online platform immediately during COVID because we couldn't meet. And I'm glad to hear that for you, Myrna, it gives you a time to reflect, to think about the questions and to be able to put in a well thought of post that would reflect your understanding of the material. So that's wonderful. How about other people? How have your experiences been so far? Yeah, you know, you can let us know if there is anything constructive, anything that could be done better. Really, this is your chance to give us feedback. And I just want you to know that we will probably check in again with you later on in 2025, probably a couple of months into the year. Again, we will give you the chance to meet up, and we will also report on progress on how we're seeing you engaged and all that. Caroline added, I'm enjoying the courses a lot and it is teaching me a lot of new information. I love the online posts and I find it interesting to read other people's posts and respond to them. Glad to hear that because that's the whole point of the post. If you're not in person, you're not getting the chance to discuss matters and learn from peers and their thoughts. So the posts kind of compensate for that, but they compensate for it in a very good way because, like Marina was saying, you get a chance to reflect, digest the material, and write a post where you put your thoughts in there. We're interested in your thoughts. And you may use some of the material, quote some of the material, bring in your own experience, and then someone else gets the chance to learn from you and then reply to you, and you can learn from them as well. So I think that's fantastic. Um, Anybody else? Any questions on the format? I know we've had some technical difficulties, and again, it's just so far out of our hands, but we're trying to mitigate the issue as much as we can. We're trying to make sure that we have a strong Wi-Fi presence in the area, in the room where we are. And we continue to work with IT, one of our servants in IT, to make sure that you have a clear uh, access to what's going on in class, as well as hearing and listening carefully. And one of the things we're doing is we're making the instructor as part of the Zoom itself. And there will always be a person, either Mimi or this year we've introduced the role of TAs. So this year we have three TAs, right, Mimi, with us? We have Mina Abadir, and you can see him actually. He has his camera on. We have Catherine Butros, and you can see her picture graduating picture there. That's Catherine. And then we have Gabriel Tekla. And all three are graduates of YMCP. They've gone through the program. They have experienced similar things to what you've experienced or are experiencing. And so they're in a good place to work with Mimi and yourselves to make sure that if you have any questions, they're able to answer it. If you're wondering about a deliverable or how to go about doing something or deadlines or anything you want to ask about the syllabus or the course, they are the people to go to. So that Mimi and with her are working on that role. Mina Abadir, Catherine Butros, and Gabriel Tekla. Maybe hopefully some of you would become TAs in the future as well and help other cohorts. So we look forward to that. I see here Gloria. Gloria, you had your hand up. Would you like to go ahead?
Hi, Buna. I was gonna say the same thing as Caroline that I like reading everyone's like posts, but I was also gonna say that something I struggle with was like the mics on the Zoom, but I think you covered that already. But yeah, it's just hard to read sometimes, but like I follow with the slides, but it's just hard to hear. But that's it.
Yeah, no, this is a good point. I would ask if Mimi could take that point down again. And we're going to talk to Nader. We have Nader and Ayman who run the Zoom when they're there. Mimi, I think you ran the Zoom last time, last Sunday. Um, and uh, and we have two mics that we use that we give to the instructor, and we try and move the other mic amongst participants in class so that you can also hear them. And please do continue to give us feedback. If this gets better, let us know. And you could do that in the chat on the day of, or if it's not clear, please don't sit passively because again, all of you have done post-secondary education. All of you could pass this program with your eyes closed if you wanted to. It's not a matter of checking boxes. It's really about the learning. And if you believe in that, that means you would be so keen if there is anything, any glitch, any issues that we can work on, you gotta let us know. And we're very open to that. And one of the reasons why we're meeting, like I said today, is to make sure you guys are good, you guys are cruising well, learning well, and also that you understand the expectations from the online group. We're going to outline that, as well as to know that the assistance and the help are there through the instructor, through myself, through Ayman as the coordinator, but more specifically with Mimi, Mina, Catherine, and Gabriel, who are working specifically closely with you guys who are online. So we're going to make sure those mics are working, but do give us feedback if they are or they're not. Celine, you have a comment. I like the use of breakout rooms during classes to allow us to work in groups like they do in person. Yes, we love that idea, and we're very thankful for the technology that we're using that allows us to do those breakout rooms. Here is one of the expectations since Celine brought it up. It's very important that if you're online, you are ready to do the work. So it's very important, and I encourage you not to do this course asynchronously as much as you can. Do it synchronously. Do it live. Even though you cannot be there in person, but you could be there virtually. And so you'll notice that Mimi or Mina or Catherine or Gabriel, whoever has control over the Zoom that day, will offer breakout rooms and will assign you to those. Now, I understand that in some of these, some people did not participate at all. And so it's very important that you actually do. You are being marked for your participation. And in order to pass any of the courses, in order to actually learn, well, that's how we evaluate the passing is related to the learning. So in order for you to actually learn, you have to actively participate in the group the breakout group and the discussions. Okay, so just put a thumb up if you all got that, please, on your profile. Just put a thumb up. Clearly, you understand that you have to participate in the breakout rooms, and And therefore the people who are there, like Mimi or any of the TAs, they will be jotting down those who have participated actively. Mimi, Mina, Catherine, Gabriel, anytime you want to jump in and add anything, please do. Don't wait till later. Now, the DQs, the discussion questions, those are the posts. So whenever I say DQ or you hear DQ or posts, they're one and the same. We don't have an added requirement. It's only that you have to do one original post and one reflection post or response post on someone else's prompt or someone else's discussion question post, original post. It has to be well thought of course. It has to be your own opinion. And you know, if you are bringing any resources, that would be very helpful. That'd be amazing because other people can learn from these resources as well. Something that either is provided within the course or your own resource that you found useful, please include that in your discussion questions. So it's important. I've noticed there are people who have been very well with the DQs, and there have been a few who have not posted at all. So I'm going to tell you this. Once a course is done, you have no option to post. So that would simply mean that you cannot pass that course. You must post. It is very important that you do. And I think that the requirement for posting is what, 200 words, something like that. So it's a very small paragraph, but it is your contribution to the learning and also learning from others. And the breakout rooms, that's to allow you to do the cases and the discussions, which you are in a way missing if you were to do it synchronously. Anything else, or anyone else with any comments, questions? Please, like I said, this is a very informal meeting that we're having now, and I want to encourage you not to hold back. If there is something you want to clarify or ask for, please, this is the time and this is the place to do so. Mimi, I want to pass it on to you if you want to just like systematically go over, what we're offering in terms of assistance and help to the group here in order to enhance their learning as well as the expectations.
Thank you, Buna. So I think Abuna summarized it really well. I think our main goal is to try to really support you so you guys can gain as much from this program and the courses as much as possible. Our instructors are incredible, very knowledgeable. And so for the last few weeks, what I've noticed is when we try to engage like just online, I know it's harder because like you guys said, the sound isn't as clear. There are technical difficulties. But if you can just help support us and just letting us and giving us this feedback so that we can fix it as soon as possible. And then have you just as engaged as the in-person. So that was the reason why we created those breakout rooms, which I'm so happy to hear that they've been working great, and that you're enjoying them. You get to discuss. So you'll see that also will be between myself and the other amazing TAs will be trying to engaging you in the chats. We'll try to get you to answer questions out loud. So you're also participating in as much as the in-person because we don't want you to miss out. We want you to, again, gain as much as possible. There's also the evaluation form that we send at the end of every course. So we're gonna ask you guys to really, really try, well, not try, but actually complete them because they are a mandatory part in passing your courses. And also this will help us to improve for the following courses and for the future. Like when we do the next programs, when we host the next program. I'm not sure if I covered everything, Abuna, but like Abuna said, we're here to really support you. So feel free to, even if you think along the way of something, feel free to reach out. You guys see my messages constantly coming into the WhatsApp group. So just feel free to message me, email me, whatever is easiest for you. Even call me. I'm more than happy to support you in any way possible. Same thing with Mina, Gabriel, and Catherine. We're all here for you guys. We'll continue doing the online posts. I feel like those are working great, and just kind of to hear from your experiences, and then you guys are not working, you're learning from each other as well and each other's experience. So I'm not sure if there are any other questions or if I've missed anything, Abuna or Mina, Catherine, Gabriel.
Mina, Catherine, or Gabriel, would you like to add anything, or would you like to highlight anything from the perspective of you being students in the past?
Thanks, Ibuna. Yeah, I think it's all about participation at the end of the day. Participating as a group is the main benefit of this whole course. So yeah, as much as possible, participate. That would be my takeaway.
Thank you, Mina.
Uh, yeah, I was gonna ask. I know we touched on like the trying to be more engaged and active in the during the sessions. I was wondering if we can kind of get more detailed, like what uh they should expect, like when they go into an online session, like what type of engagement are they expected and participation are they expected?
That's a very good question, and thank you for asking that clarifying question, Gabriel. So I put in the chat what I believe the main expectations are, and if I miss something there, please do let me know, Mimi, or any of the TAs. So to engage during the class by voicing your opinions and thoughts, or writing your thoughts or opinions in the chat. And so if Mimi or any of the TAs, they prompt you to answer a question or share your thoughts, please do so. Every time you share a thought, again, it is noted as participation for you. The second thing is to participating actively when there are breakout rooms. And thirdly, posting your DQs, and that it's at least one original DQ and one reply to someone else, one of your peers. Completing your readings, and that's in your ebooks, or if you've if you've attended and took an actual copy, hard copy of the books, then you need to complete the readings weekly, and completing the evaluation form for each course. So coming into the in-class, you want to be listening carefully, obviously, as an attendee of the class that day to the instructor, as well as engage with questions that will be posted by Mimi or Mina or Catherine or Gabriel. And those are questions that are going to be prompting you to kind of participate. Maybe it's a question that the instructor asked. And to make it just clearer, they're typing it up for you, and you could answer in the chat, or you can just raise your hand and they will let you speak up. We'll bring in the microphone to you so actually people in class can hear you as a participant. And if there are breakout rooms, to be ready to go in there and complete whatever case-based assignment or group discussion is required of you. And just be ready to ask questions or clarify anything. That's during the class. I don't know if this answers your question, Gabriel. Does this give a bit of a clear idea of what to expect coming in?
Yes, thank you, Abuna.
Yeah. And of course, you do expect to be able to hear clearly, to be able to see the presentation clearly, which now we're able to do that because we connect the instructor with their presentation on Zoom directly, as if they're giving it online. So you have a clear view of the presentation. Also, Mimi and her team will ensure that Moodle is populated with all the materials by week from the instructors. And Mimi, again, along with Mina, Gabriel, and Catherine, will be connecting with the instructors to make sure they can get that stuff ahead of time so they can make it available for you. I just want to highlight again, please do your DQs. It's one original post and a reply to someone else, because that's a very critical piece for people who are online. And apparently, some of you, a few of you, have said that they actually like it better because they get a chance to reflect and think and then write something that is meaningful. I think on our end, we are done. Again, our goal is for you to enjoy the learning. There's a lot of good stuff. I'm sure by now you've seen the material. I'm sure by now you've seen the books. I'm sure by now you've heard the instructors, and they come in with a wealth of knowledge that God has granted them through their services and experiences and education and all that. So thank God for that. And so I would really want to make sure you are learning well, that you are enjoying the YMCP program, and that you're not held by any sort of barrier that hinders your learning experience or hinders that experience of yours to grasp and interact and engage with the material and the class and all that, with the goal of optimizing your learning experience out of YMCP. Because each one of you, you're going to go back to your churches, you're going to go back to your services, and we pray that, and, people could say, you know what, like there's been a difference since that person came back. They come back and they're sharing knowledge and they're sharing experience from their course, and it has made a difference. And you'll see this actually come into fruition, especially in the last course that will be offered by Arseni, where you will do group work and design programming for youth ministry from scratch. And we hope that that becomes a great experience for you. Now, those of you who are online and not able to get us in contact with your church, or basically communicate with someone who can have a placement for you, you'll be missing on the practicum. And the practicum is a 2 months placement in youth ministry. So again, if you have someone from your church that is responsible for youth ministry, and the priest of the church is open to us training that person to hold a placement for you for 2 months, we're going to give them the material. We're going to tell them what needs to happen in your placement, and we're going to try and mimic that experience for you as we do it here locally. We've done it also in remote churches, in 2 remote churches actually, and they've had generally speaking, a positive feedback on that. I think I'm done on my end. I'm praying for blessings upon all of us and upon all of you as you continue to learn. May God use this opportunity for His glory, the glory of His name, and for the furtherance of adolescent ministry in all of our churches. Mimi, anything that you'd like to close with? No, you're good. Mina,
No.
yeah, no, you're good. Gabriel, Catherine.
I'm good.
No, I'm good, Abuna.
Wonderful. Okay, so we'll make this video recording available. And if you do have any questions after we finish this, you can always, I don't know if they have access to the WhatsApp. They do, you all have access to the WhatsApp. So you can post your questions there, or you can just simply directly email. And I would say, Mimi, if you have an email, or if we can actually use the email for YMCP, you can send the email that you used for registration initially, and we have someone who checks those emails right away, and he will direct them to Mimi, and she will respond back. Okay, have a good night, everyone, and hopefully we hear some wonderful and positive feedback from you, and ensuring that your learning is going as well as we hope it would. Take care.